Venom, what was it, Friday?
Welcome to Chit Chat That. I'm John.
Oh yeah, I'm Stefan. That's a good way
we
to
saw
start
it.
this.
We saw it on Friday.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I give it a B minus.
Yep.
Was my official score, which would be 3.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, so everyone knows the grading scale is that of the traditional public school with the B minus.
You don't get any worse
So,
than that.
yeah, and I could agree with that score. I'd say it's about 3.5 stars. Like, it was almost a 4 though. It was super close. It was one of those movies where it was really cool to see Venom, but it felt rushed.
Yeah, I almost felt like they liked those scenes too much. So when they're maybe in post, they were like, let's cut more of like the development. Or like, and rush that a lot too. And then, I don't know, maybe it was just a bad script, but that's like the one thing that I felt like, what? Like there's times where they really rush to get things going.
Yeah.
Like,
and that was my big thing. Like, the girlfriend wasn't that big of a deal. Like, there wasn't much chemistry there at all, and I didn't care about her.
And then they broke up. Like that was it. Like,
Yeah,
how do we show that they're a really, really into it couple? And then they're like, oh, let's show them like kissing, and they're gonna do it. And then they're in bed together all of a sudden, and you're like, I don't think that's as big of a deal as you think it is. That doesn't show that they're in love.
No, I never felt like there was much of anything really, and it didn't feel like Eddie Brock changed much. Like, even with all the, going from, having everything and then losing everything and then getting this Venom suit, it was just like, you didn't feel like there was much change until he finally got the Venom suit, and then he was like having issues with controlling it and the different, trying to live with it at first, trying to figure it out, like what's going on. That's when he really started to become an interesting character. Before that, he was kind of just bland.
Yeah, there wasn't like much progression, I would agree. Because like he was this reporter that was a hot shot, but didn't really act like hot shot.
Yeah.
And
so
then
when he went down in the dumps, it didn't change much.
Yeah.
It's his attitude. I don't know. It was strange.
And there's like some weird things, like he's in his old place of work, spoiler alert, and he's Venom, and so there's all these people trying to stop him. So he's fighting all these people, and I would think they would like secure a perimeter, and they wouldn't allow like civilians into this place when he's taking out like a bunch of cops. Instead, she just walks up through the side doors, That.
Yeah, it was. Well, and it's funny that like no one ever really brings in cameras to see what was going on that I saw. Maybe they did, but it brushed over everything really fast. And there was one thing with the Venom suit that I thought was funny. Another spoiler, I don't know. Some of the lines, like, most of them were fine, but the one where the Venom suit calls Eddie a pussy for not jumping out the window, it seemed a little out of place for the Venom suit a little bit. I don't know. That seemed like too much slang for an alien suit, but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny, but it kind of felt out of place a little bit.
Yeah, like he was into him. He was like, I can read your brain. I know everything. And so, okay, maybe he can get the slang. But then he was like, who's this girl? And I was like, oh, that was the love of his life that he just broke up with. So yeah, you developed it so poorly that even Venom didn't even know that they were this big couple.
It's like, I'm attached to this guy. I have no idea what this is going on.
No, but I think overall it was good. I think that was one of the critiques. Was kind of the story was lacking a little bit. Maybe the scripts, some sloppy.
Yeah, and the villain wasn't scary. The corporate, evil corporate guy wasn't as developed either. Like, I couldn't have cared
the little
less.
dude from India.
Yeah, well, well, it's like he just wasn't intimidating. His motives were weak, and everything about him was just like, I don't know. He was forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a really cool villain. I think you know, the evil symbiote suit that was opposite Venom was a little more intimidating and a lot more, or a little more memorable, but still, I don't think there was enough of him to really develop either.
So you know more about film than I do. Do you think it was more of a script issue or more of like the editing at the end to fit it in time, or maybe I
I
don't know.
feel like it was a script issue personally, and the reason why is because the dialogue, everything was so rushed. I was
It was
another
like
thing too.
dumbed down to like a kid level. Like when she breaks up to him, she's like, "You got me fired. I don't love you. We're over," and then leaves. Like, that's basically how the conversation went. There was like not much back
No,
and forth.
literally, that
It
was
was like,
like word
"Hey, how
for
you
word.
doing?" And like that was it. Like, and then all of a sudden they're done. You're like, that was like 20 seconds. That was their breakup, and then he never sees her again. Like,
Yeah, it didn't
what?
work out that way. Yeah, it was just that like in one of my classes, the script writing class with the teacher, he's like, that's something you want to avoid is on the nose dialogue, where it's like, I don't like you because of this, where it's like, sometimes it doesn't come off very well.
Yeah, it comes off
But,
like it's like a kid's cartoon.
right, they have to explain everything and spell it out to everybody. It's like, they don't like each other because of this. It's like, oh,
Oh, okay. Good thing you
yeah.
said that. I wouldn't have got it from any other.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't have figured out the fact that he stole her classified case file and did all this stuff.
And it's funny how easy it was. He like puts in her password, clicks on like one folder, and it was like confidential, and he just reads through the whole thing.
I know. It moved
She didn't have like a work password. She didn't have to log into like a VPN. It just seemed like if you're the law firm handling those kind of lawsuits, you'd have like more security measures.
That's true. Yeah, it was like a.
So maybe that was a sign that they were really together because he knew all the security features to get through.
I guess. Still, like you said, it felt like a pretty thin layer of security.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one password and no. With today's stuff, you'd think they would have fingerprint readers or Face ID.
Mm-hmm.
It's like no one uses passwords anymore.
I just to get for my work stuff, I have to do like a fingerprint thing and a VPN. I have to change my password like every month. I'm out of passwords to use. I don't even know what to use anymore. So,
It felt pretty. Yeah. And that was something else because I really liked Venom. I liked the way he looked. I liked the action sequences with Venom in it. I wasn't a fan of the action sequences before the suit finally just, overcame Eddie and you got the actual Venom character. Like the ones where it's basically Eddie with, green, or not green, the symbiote just kind of shooting off of him. I mean, they're fine, but I almost wish they cut those down shorter and just showed more of Venom. Because, I mean,
yeah.
we know what the symbiote is, and it's like, I'd rather just see the full symbiote.
Is that a clock? Doorbell?
Yeah, the bell's tolling. No, it's just the clock. Top of the hour.
It's like 3 minutes early.
Is it? It could be. And that was another thing. The Venom suit actually got really interesting towards the end when they started to bring in the leader symbiote, wanting to go back and get more symbiotes to bring them back to Earth or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of weird where he's like, oh, I decided I didn't want to. Because I like it.
And I'm a loser like you on my planet. It's like it brushed over his story really quick, too.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, yeah, Venom should have been... they had a lot to work with Venom himself and different things. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I did like everything with Venom, But yeah, all the stuff in between was pretty slow and just didn't care for any of it.
Yeah, like the action scenes are pretty good. It made me laugh quite a bit. I was entertained throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was
Maybe it would have been great for like an action superhero movie years ago, but ever since we got like better ones, like
yeah,
Dark Knight,
yeah.
and a lot of the Marvel ones, I mean, there are no Dark Knight or anything like that, but they're better. There's thought, there's development. Yeah.
At least for the most part, yeah. I would say they're.
Like, I think they had a big plan in place before, so everything is in there for a reason. They're not like, you got me fired. I don't love you anymore. We're over. Bye-bye.
What are you talking about? That happens every day. That's just how everyone's relationships go in the world.
Some people say it like that. Other people like to talk a little bit longer than that. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we should all be just more blunt and keep everything to 3 lines.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because she didn't even, if they were like so together, it's like she didn't even really think much or think to ask or dig deeper into like, why did you do it? All this kind of stuff. It was just like, you did it. Goodbye. It's like, oh, that was quick. Nothing to understand what he did. It was a career move. I don't know. Which his career was awesome, so I don't know what he was going for, but I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. No sense. Yeah, just pretty weak plot and weak motives with the characters for the most part. And then the random spot where she gets the suit. Was that even necessary?
Yeah, I don't know why that happened, because like the scene right before it, he was in the dog, and like the dog was walking out to go meet him, and then all of a sudden she had it, and it's like, why didn't you meet up with her? Because she was in the hospital, and then she left the doctor and was gone all of a sudden, and her and Venom left at 2 different times, so I don't know how she all of a sudden had it. Maybe there's a scene they cut that had her being like, oh, cute doggy, and then the dog like jumps up and...
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems so strange.
And most people didn't take the transfer as well as she did. Like, they'd be like, oh, afterwards, and like, she transferred it, and it was like, yeah, I'm fine.
That's true. Oh, boy. Yeah, it had a few things that were, yeah.
And like, his heart had atrophied a ton, and then he was like sprinting from the people in the forest, yeah. So I was like, well, that's going to be hard. You must be in really, really good shape if you're able to do that. Most people have a hard time walking upstairs, let alone sprinting from agents.
Well, even healthy people have that issue. And he wasn't supposed to be 100%, but it worked anyway. And then the final scene to reveal Carnage. It was just not... It started off cool, and then by the time you see the hair and everything... How did you explain it again? It was part
Ronald McDonald wig?
Yeah. Ronald McDonald in a jail cell.
And I was pretty excited. I was like, oh yeah, Woody. I like Woody. I think he'll do good. But then you get back to that script. Oh, there will be carnage.
Yeah, that was, when they talk about lazy writing, that's lazy writing.
Yeah.
They did
too much of that. Because in Marvel movies, I don't think they foreshadow that obvious. Like they'll glance past the Infinity Gauntlet and stuff, and not be like, there will be an Infinity War, and then wanted to it. I just...
That's exactly how they needed to do that. Would have made Infinity War that much better.
I know. Overall, it was good, but I think it's hard to mess up Venom. And they try it a lot, too. But Venom's just so awesome. It's hard to not like it a lot.
It's true, because I still like the character. Again, I thought they did the character design justice.
Oh, it looks super cool.
Yeah, that's why I wish they just had more of the Venom suit. Like him in the suit, and having the conversations happening during that, because it was just cool to see that, because after Spider-Man 3 destroyed the persona of Venom.
And it seemed like it almost seemed like there's more symbiotes.
Oh, there's a ton in the comics.
Well, it made it seem like there was more than the two that were on Earth, because one was going through the Labaton. Unless that was just all Venom, but I don't know. There's like a black one, and there's like a dark blue looking one, and then the silver. Because I know in the comics they have a whole group.
Yeah, they have that, and then there's the lady one she's the like black and yellow one. And I thought I saw that one in there, but it was one that looked like it had died. I don't know.
Yeah, because the color that took over the bunny was like a different color, so it looked like maybe they have all five. And they just missed the one, and the other five, or the other ones were still in cages. Maybe I just missed that because I'm too stupid of a viewer.
I don't know. Well, we only saw it once. It was a few days ago.
I told you I was going to forget already. Half the movie's gone.
That's alright. We tried. But it was still, overall, entertaining show. I hope if they do make enough money to make the next one that they opened up for, hopefully they fix a lot of those mistakes and they don't go the watered down plot and just hope for action to carry it. Because as much as the action was entertaining and carried it some of the way, it was hard to keep interest during the times there was no action.
Yeah. When you have stuff like, my weakness is sound and fire.
I know, it's like so
sound and fire.
fast.
Like, why did you say that, Venom? Like,
yeah, why would you do that? No one tells you their weakness.
She's the girl that like turns the MRI on you and is calling you a parasite, which you don't like, but you're like, I like her. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they rushed so much. It was, I don't know. Anyway, overall decent show. Slap on the B- or 3.5 star.
7 out of 10. Because I figure a C would be 5 out of 10, because that's the midway mark.
That's a C? A C's the midway?
And
I thought you had the whole grading system, so you had A, B, C, D, F.
Yeah, so C would be in the middle. F would be 0.
Okay.
C would be 5. A would be 10 out of 10. A minus would be like 9 out of 10.
Good way to burn a few hours on a Saturday afternoon if you're bored.
But I'm probably not going to watch it a ton. I may never watch it again. But I'd watch the sequel. I don't know if I'll buy it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy it if it was like a $5 bin. Like, just something cheap. I wouldn't buy it full price.
Yeah, maybe I will.
You think you'll buy it full price?
My daughter really wants to watch it, but she's 4, so that's not going to happen. We'll watch like the Venom on the good cartoons, like the old 90s cartoons.
There you go.
The reason I like Venom so much. Plus, it's cool how he could be like the Black Spider-Man was so cool, and then he became Venom. It was a cool storyline.
It was a cool storyline. So it is sad that they couldn't have Spider-Man in there.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to happen with all this merger between Fox and Marvel. and if Sony's gonna like hold on to it, or if they're just gonna give in. Marvel, you take it all.
That's a cash cow. Even though Sony so far, I haven't seen them do a superhero movie right, like ever.
I like the Spider-Man movies when they came out, but I was a kid, so what did I know?
Which ones?
That Tobey Maguire.
Oh, was that?
I actually like the ones with Emma Stone.
Yeah, I
actually like them.
I don't know. I thought there were.
The Goblin villain wasn't very good, but
yeah, I thought there were parts of both that I liked and didn't like. I don't know.
They ruined Venom.
Yeah, they did.
The Topher Grace one.
Well, it sounds like they just gave up on that one. Even Sam Raimi, I guess, was kind of. He just felt like there were too many things going on. I guess they were pushing him to put in stuff that he didn't want. He didn't care for Venom, so that's why Venom just became a garbage character.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't.
Yeah, that was kind of big because they had the Green Goblin, and you had the Sandman, and you had Venom, and you had emo Spider-Man.
That's not emo Spider-Man. That was Saturday Night Live. No, Saturday Night Fever Spider-Man.
Well, he put down his hair like that, and he was like,
there you go.
He's a bad A, going to jazz clubs. What a rebel.
Yeah, saying dig on this.
Hitting women.
That's the worst line of the whole thing. And I laughed. It was so sad, because that movie came out while I was on my mission, and I come back, and I watched it with my brothers, and we just laughed the whole time. It was that sad. I was like, oh, I was so excited to see it, because I saw the posters and all that. Oh, Black Suit Spider-Man, it's going to be so cool, and I get there, finally watch it, and I was just like,
well, I feel like superhero movies have kind of evolved. They're more of like kid stuff. I think now they're more like everyone based. Where like Venom seemed more like a kid one, so I'm glad they didn't go R, because I don't think that would have gone over well.
I watched a review where some guy was like, this could have been, could have helped if it was R, and I was like, I don't think it would have changed anything. The story's what killed it.
Yeah, and if you're going and now you're taking out the kids, because I think the kids are the ones that are going to like this the most, because they don't, all they have to hear is like, oh, and you're killing patients with your clinical trials. Like, they don't have to hear more of that. They can just hear that. They're satisfied. Where I'm like, go on. Like, explain.
Yeah.
Or I'm mad. You lost my job. I don't love you. We're over. Maybe kids would be like, yeah, that's it. I get it. Apparently she's mad that he made her lose her job. She doesn't love him anymore now, and then they're over. Whereas an adult, you're like, that's it.
Yeah, you're like,
where's the drama? Where's the...
look more. Like, anything else?
All the subtle things to make you feel that way instead of just telling us to feel that way.
Yeah, well, and it's like, I haven't seen the movie Logan, but from the sounds of, like, that movie, it was about Wolverine, but it was about so much deeper into the character and stuff, where it's like, this one didn't have that, deep character development to make it be like, whether it was PG-13 or R, like, it had so much substance story-wise that it's like, it was just a good movie. This one didn't. I saw Logan. That.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I heard Logan did a lot better with that kind of.
I wouldn't say it was like great, but at least they explained things better, and they didn't make things so like obvious. So there's more like thinking and being like, oh, what's going on? Deadpool's still the best R-rated superhero movie to me, and it's not close.
Well, it was like a straight-up comedy, though, so that's...
Yep.
It lived up to that, right?
There's some good action in it.
Action comedy?
They balance it really well.
But, So that's Venom for you.
So what are the next superhero movies coming out?
I don't know.
We got Marvel, Captain Marvel.
And then there's what's that? Aquaman.
I really want to watch that.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Jason Momoa or whatever his name is, and he was on Conan, and he was
say he didn't even like it.
And so it made me just not like him.
What did he say?
He was like, Conan, you're a beta, I'm an alpha. And he was just like talking all about himself. And I was like, yeah, I don't really care to watch anything you're in. Why do I need to care about some cocky prick? Not saying he is, he just came off that way. I have no idea. Because I also saw him on Jimmy Fallon and he looked a lot cooler. He's like doing games with Jimmy. And I'd rather see somebody do that than talk about how cool they think they are. And how much better than Conan they felt they were. I don't know, maybe it was a joke I just didn't get, but... So now I'm like, I don't really want to watch Aquaman. Plus it's Aquaman.
I know. That's the hardest part. It's Aquaman.
I was like, oh yeah, I'll just wait the water.
Interesting though, so I'm curious.
Yeah, I thought he did well in like the Justice League. Like he was pretty cool in that. And I feel like
Justice League.
They're giving Batman. How do you mess up Batman? He's like the greatest superhero of all time. It's so easy to love.
I don't know. They've messed him up pretty good a few times, but
you gotta make him.
But in this golden age of movie superheroes, they messed him up very bad.
Yeah. And I think
like in the past, you got Batman Forever, which that was stupid, and Batman and Robin, that was really stupid.
I feel like
they've had a lot of stupid Batmans, but
yeah,
this one, it's like you had Christopher Nolan set the stage for you. You didn't really
have to changed everything. I think after that they were like, oh yeah, you can give it a good plot, and you can give it like a movie. If you didn't have the superheroes in it, it would still be a movie. Whereas like Venom without Venom, that wouldn't have been a movie.
That's true.
So I think Marvel does that pretty well, and Christopher Nolan, yeah. If it wasn't Batman, it was just somebody else. When there were cops trying to take him down, like it would have still been a good movie.
Mhm. Yeah, and that goes down, I think, to the writing.
Mhm.
If you've got a well-written, tight script, and you make it difficult for the director to screw it up, that's the way to do it. That's what they were trying to teach us. Like, if you're going to write a story, write it in such a way that...
I think DC has a harder... DC has Superman, and I think he kind of messes everything up.
Yeah, he does.
He's too powerful. He has, like, everything, and then a really stupid weakness. Like kryptonite, I was like, oh, okay, I'll just carry that. Some pepper spray laced in kryptonite in my fanny pack, and I'll be alright. I don't need to worry about Superman.
That's true, actually, yeah. If you're the villain, you just have to walk around with a bunch of that, and you'll be safe.
Like in Marvel, like the Avengers, any Avenger could fight the other one. Besides, like, Black Widow and Hawkeye, like, I don't care. They're not going toe-to-toe with Thor, They try to do it. They try to make it so cool, but you're like, nah, I don't think you can do that. Unless they give him really high-tech weapons. Like, Superman, he's, like, so much more than everybody. And I thought it was so stupid at the end of Justice League, how he, like, has the foot race with Flash. I was like, that's ridiculous. You should have Flash be so much faster than Superman. Because then Flash is, like, he's now rendered useless. It's like, oh, well, Superman's faster, so your one thing you can do is now gone. I guess you're kind of point. We'll just go ahead and call Superman, because he could also lift a bus if we wanted him to, so. Oh, he can fly. Yep. Shoot lasers out of his eyes. Freeze you with his breath.
Yeah, he ruins everything.
Right? Like, that's lame. If he gets really, like, depressed or messes up, he just spins the Earth the wrong way and reverses time, because that's how time works.
Yeah, apparently.
Can lift skyscraper. Like it's just so lame.
Yeah,
It'd be hard to really make a good movie with Superman. You'd have to weaken him quite a bit, make him not quite as strong. And that's what everyone likes about Superman.
Yeah, or give him some other. Yeah.
I like Batman, because Batman was just super smart and rich.
Yeah.
I did like how they said that. I was like, "What's your superpower?" "I'm rich." That was good. But
it's true, man, and I think with all the, the tone of the Marvel versus the DC, it's just a rough competition right now, because Marvel already caught the eye of everybody with its style and humor, and Marvel's always been more colorful in general, so it's hard to bring a dark, generally more gritty show to the big screen and hope for it to be as successful.
yeah, I think the Dark Knight trilogy can go head to head with any of the Marvel movies.
Oh, they probably beat them, because when it comes to story, they just win.
Yeah. There are some really cool ones, though. I thought Doctor Strange was actually really well done.
I think it's well done. A lot of them.
And I think a lot of it was like the visual effects that they used in it. That was pretty good. I really like Ant-Man. And like, if you can make me like Ant-Man and make Ant-Man super cool, like you did it right, I think that was a lot to do with Paul Rudd. But
that is true. Yeah. Yeah, they did manage to make some characters cooler. But then they also managed to make some characters in certain movies not so cool. Yeah.
Black Widow.
So,
sorry.
Yeah, they're kind of just there for nothing.
Unless you have an Iron Man suit.
They're still waiting for a good Hulk movie.
Yeah, it's crazy that they're not. They just kind of give up.
Well, it's like, they got the right guy, Mark Ruffalo, but by the time he got the part, it was like, we've done that origin story so many times, it's over. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, but I think one thing Marvel did well is most of those superheroes that you started off with weren't the ones, at least that I grew up with. Like, I didn't care about Captain America. I knew a little bit about the Hulk. Didn't really care about Iron Man, Thor, any of those. I was like, I like Spider-Man and the X-Men. Like, that was the Marvel that I kind of grew up with. And so they were able to take those characters and make them super cool. Because the first Iron Man movie, that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, the first Iron Man. The reason that one even was good, though, is it really did show that character shift, which was awesome to see. Where he came off as a jerk, and then after almost dying and everything, he became, he matured a bit. And that was, like, cool to see.
And then he ends up, like, a jerk at the end, still. When he's like, I'm Iron Man. And he's still, like, arrogant.
Yeah.
But, like...
because Pepper she saved him, so he became just like, oh, I guess it wasn't me.
He's in waves. He has his ups and downs. And I'd say that Iron Man now is way different than Iron Man and Iron Man 1.
Well, Iron Man 2 I didn't care for much because he kind of relapsed. Iron Man 3 wasn't as bad. The reason why is because it was referring a lot to the Avengers. I didn't realize how much of the Avengers references were in that.
I need to rewatch a lot of it.
I know there is a ton of movies.
It's probably just too much work. Because there's still a lot I haven't seen. I haven't seen Captain America 2, which I've heard is supposed to be good, the Winter Soldier one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second Thor. because I didn't really like Thor. I like Thor Ragnarok. But
You didn't
that's
like the
the director.
I thought the first Thor was pretty good.
I thought Thor was kind of a douche. Like, his character wasn't that good. But when he became, like, funny, and that's what he evolved into, like, Thor from Ragnarok on, he's a lot better.
A lot more
Still arrogant, but in a funny way.
True.
I don't know. And I just don't like arrogant superheroes. Aquaman.
There you go. You can always have Aquaman.
Because I would
No
say
one wants
the Flash movie that they're doing, that looks super good. I thought the Flash was funny in Justice League. I'd watch him.
Are they doing a Flash movie?
I thought, but I heard that Henry Cavill, or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, he's not doing Superman anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're going to do that. Maybe they'll just be like, you know what? We're better off without Superman in the Justice League. Wonder Woman's cool enough.
Well, I'm kind of confused what's going to happen. Because they had that whole thing with Batman's vision of Superman being evil, and now Henry Cavill's not even going to come back for anymore. And then the whole Flash coming back in time to warn him and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, that thing's falling to pieces real fast.
See, I think, Superman would make a better villain. Because then everyone has to team up together and use their strengths to hit this one guy that has all the strengths.
That would actually be a lot more interesting.
Then there's a lot more, like, you have to do to get it. Instead of being like, oh, well, we couldn't beat you. Let's just send Superman. He's going to smoke you with his eyes and laser beam you.
Yep, to death.
All the way dead.
Yeah, it's depressing, and all that means is going to be another, 10 or 20 years before they can reboot everything.
Spider-Man's done, every 3 years. They don't even wait.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just recast, reboot.
But I think now that Disney has it.
Problems, though. Sony's always rebooting crap, and that's why everyone hates it. Because they reboot it, and it's worse or just as bad as the one they're trying to fix.
You know what I found? Because they're also doing that Into the Spideyverse. That actually looked pretty good. I was on board. I was like, what? They're going to do a cartoon one? But then I was like, it actually looks pretty good.
If they focus on the story. Excuse me. Well, the video game did pretty good. Didn't have anything to do with the Spideyverse, but the video game did well. Did you know that?
I have Xbox, so...
Oh, that's right. It was a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Because it's Sony.
That makes sense now. I was wondering why it was exclusive, but now it all makes sense.
If they could just all get along, then I can play whatever I want on my Xbox.
Oh, they can't get along. That destroys all the wonderful competition.
But think of the magnitude that all this Marvel Disney stuff has had, though. There's a lot of movies into it, and this is phase 1 that they're finishing up. So they're going to go from all the old-time superheroes. Phase what?
0.5.
0.5, yeah. They got a lot of phases left.
Yeah.
They got to still bring in Nova and all these other superheroes. So.
Well, I think they should just, after this next, Avengers movie, just cut it out and just start a bunch of new heroes.
I think they'll have one where they continue to develop some of their newer ones, like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Black Panther. They'll have their phase. What?
Yeah, I was like, he's only done one movie so far. Weren't most of them signed on for like 3 each for most of these? Or maybe it was just the first part. Because, I mean, Iron Man had 3, Thor had 3, Captain America had 3. I would imagine Black Panther and Doctor Strange will get 3.
Yeah, from the rumors, it sounds like they're going to get rid of a lot of the original ones because they're out of the contracts. And that makes sense anyways. But they'll have these ones going, and then they'll start introducing the new ones coming in down the ways a little bit. And they'll be like the last phase, I guess.
Well, they're bringing in Captain Marvel. She'll probably take over a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. That's so crazy, man. So many.
And if they get X-Men, I mean, that can be a phase all of itself. X-Men is so big. There's so many of them. So much you can do with it.
You know what sucks about that, though? Did you see the trailer to the new one? What?
The Phoenix? I never liked the Phoenix storyline.
I hated the Phoenix Saga. Why did they do that? That's what killed X-Men 3 back when they did the original X-Men trilogy. Mm-hmm. You went right into the Phoenix Saga, and I hated that saga.
I didn't like it in the cartoons either.
Yeah, it sucked. It dragged. It dragged
awesome.
on forever. What?
Cable and Bishop were awesome.
Yeah, but that's it. Like the whole that whole storyline drug on forever, and it sucked. And every time they bring it into the movies, it feels the same way. So I'm definitely not excited for it. I mean, you know, maybe I'll go see it. I don't know.
I'll still see it.
I'm bored enough. What?
I'll still see it. Like I said, it's Spider-Man and X-Men on the Marvel list for me. But I think Ant-Man's up there now. And Doctor Strange. Those are pretty good.
Doctor Strange is good. But he was pretty much Iron Man. Even down to the goatee.
Black Panther is pretty good.
What? Oh, Black Panther? You know, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was as good as the critics and other people were saying. Like, I'm like, it's good, but it's not one I bought.
I'd have it above all the Captain Americas and Thors. And 2 out of the 3 Iron Mans. Yeah. But below Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man 1.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely, it's not, I don't know, I put it right in the middle of everything.
That's about where I got it.
Yeah, pretty close. I might have rearranged some of the movies, but it'd still be in the middle. But, yeah.
I think my first priority is being funny. That's what I like most in the films. And Doctor Strange it was cool to watch. They had tons of effects and Inception type stuff on there. So I think that's what was cool to me. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can do. It's got to be either like a really good story or really funny, and I'm on board. So Dark Knight it. Or Guardians of the Galaxy it.
I thought Ragnarok was funnier.
It was good.
Did you think which is the funniest Marvel movie so far? I think Ragnarok. That's probably, I don't know why. I think I laughed the most in that one than a lot of others.
Ragnarok was good. I think Guardians of the Galaxy, those ones had more humor in it. I don't think Drax is that funny. But other than that...
Yeah, I can see.
But I think Ragnarok was good. And it was kind of nice to see the shift in how it was done. And the director of it, I can't ever remember his name. Probably because I'm stupid.
Taika Waititi or something like that.
Yeah, he's part of the New Zealand guys. Yeah. Flight of the Conchords. He's buddies with it.
That's so funny. Those guys are funny.
They're coming back. They're doing new songs and everything. I'm excited.
Yeah, I saw him on Stephen Colbert, I think. They were interviewed.
I saw one. I was on Instagram and I was flipping through it, and he was like, "See our special exclusively on HBO," and then the other guy, Britt, was like, "Or on any illegal site that streams it," and he's like, "No, only exclusively on HBO." It's pretty funny.
Those guys, yeah, they got such a straight, dry humor. It's funny.
Mhm. Jermaine, I follow him on Twitter. He's pretty funny. Have you ever seen Flight of the Conchords on their HBO show?
I think you showed me some highlights from it, and I've watched a few highlights on some other. And then my wife, she knows some of their songs. It's like The Prettiest Girl in the Room. So we watched that. That was like from their show, I think. Anyway, that was... it's so funny because he looks so... Like, he's acting so serious, but he's got the dumbest looking face. Like, he just has a face that just looks clueless, I guess. I don't know. But he can be so serious, and it's just funny.
Like, if that's what you're into. Me and you and me, get food in the noon. It's pretty funny. When he's like, "I'm the hip-hop phenomenist. My rhymes are bottomless." And then he just freezes.
That was it.
And then they kind of go to groove and he just dances for a little bit, and then the other guy starts rapping again. So he has one rhyme, and then the rhyme is his lyrics are bottomless, and then he just stops. For me, that was perfect. That was funny. All right. I gotta write on my notes for a conference call in the morning. Finish reading and summarizing Prop 2.
Alrighty. So we'll wrap this up. Go see Venom if you want. Just don't expect too much. Venom's cool, but
you'll be entertained.
Yeah. So go have some fun.
I'm John.
I'm Stefan. It's Chit Chat.
Chit Chat.